Welcome back to my EA Hinnom series. This is episode 14, turn 35. And as you can see, a whole lot of stuff going on. However, a key battle with Rus, and we can see there was a battle inside of the fortress as well. Before getting to the battles though, before I forget, wanted to make the point that you can obviously see I spammed cast Augury last turn, and that was as I got the tech for it. So, a couple points before actually checking them. If you recall these mages, I think they're Ami or Akai, one of the two. 25% of them are fire. So this begins to give you an idea of how many mages I'm recruiting with my vast amount of forts. So this turn's kind of a demonstration of how much power I can gather with my scales build. So yeah, that's the point I wanted to make with them. Let's check. Let's get to everything before looking at the fight. So you see Statis sends us a Coral Blade. I think he lost his capital last turn, so maybe giving other people in the game an item that they have left over. Cool. Sorry to see him go, but people have to die in this game. For our sights, nothing, 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 nothing. Nada, 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 nada. No sights. One sight, Enchanted Pyre. That's gonna be, I believe, 1 gem. We have a Dark Knowledge, nothing. Augury, nothing. Nothing. So with 15 or so remote site searchings, we found 1 site. Probably 1 gem. We would have done full site searching anyways, but always feel it's a little bad to spend, what, 20, 30 gems and just get 1 income from that. So, sort of a feels bad moment there. We see our Pretender awakes. That's cool. We can use him for that Construction 6 crafting we're working towards. A little bit of blood hunting going on for events. 3 gems of, what's that, nature? Yep. We have some minus population and some 10 gems, so decent. I guess the wolves attack the province afterwards from this. I don't know if we lose it. Actually, we do know. Since there's a gray flag here, it's, I don't know if it's a bug, or if you'd call it a bug, but like, it's the post-turn outcome, so you know Independence won the fight. So we'll just show that. Yeah, Wolves killed the 1 PD. Another point was that last episode was super duper way too long, so I'm not sure I'm gonna watch many more other battles, because I think that's why we went so long. But what we're all waiting for, the battle with Rus. This is outside of his fort. Immediately we see a whole pile of stuff coming out, but not surprisingly much for mages. As a reminder, we did do another 2 castings of fire from afar. So and there was no troops, or not much troops inside of his capital. So it's possible we killed 10, 15 mages again. But even then, I don't know. We do know he did have a lot of mages in the past, so we'll have to see what's inside the fort here. We see his pretender, the earth boosting helm. Cool. It's just one of his researchers. This was the thug we saw outside of his capital last turn. This guy's been following this army forever. I think these are priests. More researchers. Another researcher. See the Nature 3 guy, no gems. So it doesn't really look like he's bringing any magic again. You see troops in the back. Not sure what these guys are aiming to do. The positioning of it's also a little odd. None of these are commanders, but they're pretty spread out. I wonder if a couple died from fires from afar and it sort of has a broken formation as the battle started. I'm guessing this is to catch fly and attack rear stuff. We also see obviously these firebirds, which are mostly an economical summon. They have 2 attacks. This flame burst looks kind of crappy, but it's 10 fire damage, armor piercing, and some crappy claws. On our side, we have the full script, though our script looks sort of off-center with his troops favoring a side from his line. So that could pose a potential issue if he has attack rear orders. They're gonna run past my line of guys and get behind to my mages. So yeah, it doesn't look like Rus brought any magic in the end. He has his pretender to do... what's it called? To auto bless. Has a booster on him but no gems. So maybe he just spams Thunderbolt. Not sure. But you'll see. Let's start slow speed. We already know my spells. It's like Body Ethereal, Mass Protection, Lightning Resistance, Legions of Steel, couple fluffing spells as well to go in there, but yeah, it's a troop focused strategy out of me. This time we see everyone is on hold and attack, except for these javelin throwers, but they can't run past. Rusted script again is not perfect. Half of his troops are on hold and attack, the other aren't. We cast a big old doom on him, so everyone is cursed. Should make it a bit easier on my guys. We see these firebirds fly and attack rear. Oh, I think that's why these javelins were also in the back, was to catch attack rear orders from his thugs. These swarms are being spammed out. It's just to add some fodder for the front line. Help blunt the blow on my actual troops. Some bugs flying in the back, disrupting things. Okay, so if you look at the buffs, these chariots should have Legions of Steel. They do. They have susceptible to fire from mass protection. Actually checking the armor, he has 13 body armor. Okay, maybe it doesn't show, but there is lightning resistance, very high protection, trample, so those guys are buffed up. Checking these troops, you see these guys received the liquid body, which is good. So they have all these resistances. They have obviously a mass protection, shock resistance, and they should have Okay, these guys definitely have Legions of Steel. Their body armor is 16. All the armor here shows 13, so it looks like the chariots missed most of my buffs actually. It's a little unfortunate. Chariots I don't think need any strength, so just getting them those defensive buffs would help them survive longer. And all they need to do is trample, so continuing on. We do have 3 Melqarts in the back getting fluffed up. 1 Melqart flew up. Was it a Melqart? No, the troops are getting it. Okay, yeah. So it looks like my Dawn Guard were catching the flight fluffing. Oof, words are getting hard. You can see these skin shifters, right, are beginning to get slapped at. You do see some of these troops wrapping around with these attack rear orders. Chariots are doing sort of exactly what I want them to do, just dive on in and trample everything. Looks like they're on attack rear orders, possibly. Rus is also going to be doing a fair amount of friendly fire from these evocations. We see this front line is pretty disrupted now, thanks to the chariots. There's a big hole in his formation, though that's in part due to his poor scripting, where the center of his troops were on hold and attack while the flanks were not. So I'm sort of wrapping around on the inside now. This squad is definitely gonna get very bad frontage against me, whereas I'm gonna get good frontage. Up here these troops have wrapped around. My astral mages have spammed body ethereal on everyone. Between body ethereal and mass protection, these mages are actually fairly tough to handle for his troops. So yeah, Melqarts sort of protecting the mages there. Chariots are dying out. It's both fortunate and unfortunate. I would like them to crack right through the gate in my second battle against him, but if everything he has is outside the fort, then I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, I think from here, chariots are dead. His flank force is mostly dead. They're sort of going off script now. Oh, did I looks like his pretender isn't here, and I don't meant to show it, but I think when I watched the battle it was on retreat orders. I'll try to catch that in a second watch. But yeah, his very high impact potential pretender is off the battlefield. Okay, so there's our first Melqart finally flying into the back. He's gonna find some mages to munch on. And we can really see his troops are getting whittled down. So I'm definitely taking a moderate amount of damage back. And see this section of the line thinning out from the damage I'm taking. Some off-script stellar cascades is cool. Should fatiguing out his sacreds is a cool way to handle them. Yeah, let's speed it up. We have 2 Melqarts in the front here, just beating down on those sacreds. The with one other one in the back slapping mages, we see that he's beginning to rout. I think these bears are berserking, right? Yes, they're berserking, so they won't rout. This section of my line definitely has sustained damage, but still have a decent amount of troops left over to assault the fort. So I guess speeding up, we're just kind of chopping what's left on the field. And that's that. So, conclusion, our mages survived mostly. Our chariots did their job. They disrupted the enemy formation, which is always useful for making their troops inefficient. We caught most of their troops on our troops, so they didn't hit our mages for the most part, but those that did, our Melqarts targeted them on the side here. A couple troops running towards the end of the battle. So even despite the Melqart leading them for all this bonus morale, they're still retreating. Unfortunate. Let's check these nature mages. Okay, and we do see our nature mages successfully saved one gem. So the conserve gems will let them use the one cast of swarm in the second battle on the fort. So let's see the results. We see we mostly slaughtered everything. I think that's pretty much all the troops. 5 warriors, which are just troops, lived. Some of his mages lived. His elder lived though. Wanted to show if his... few battle. If his pretender retreated. Yeah, he's on retreat orders, as you can see him running backwards. So, a few mistakes out of Rus, which unfortunately made the battle much easier for me. I lost, on the other hand, the chariots, some of these supporting troops, and half of my Dawn Guards, so by no means an easy fight for me. But I did keep all of my Melqarts, which is great. All of my mages survived, so troops are the most easily replaceable part of this army. So I'm happy with the results. If we go to the siege, you can see like how different this formation looks from compared to before. This top squad against the sacred squad definitely sustained damage. Looks like there's not enough to proc gem usage, and if we look inside, 0 mages. So the fact that we only saw, what, 3 wizards, 5 wizards, out of what I want to say about was 20 wizards a couple turns ago, sort of shows that the fires from afar did a lot of damage in killing the majority of his mages. So I think the fires from afar did deceptively big damage for me in making that fight easier. We don't need to watch that. It's well, I guess we lost 2 mages from arrows. But they were replaceable. Third battle, we're just raiding. So yeah, Rus is mostly wiped out now. Just need to clean up these troops. There's a hope that I can kill this dwarf and get that air booster, but it's not going to be guaranteed. I send 2 Melqarts after him, 2 Melqarts after the second province, so hoping to do that. I'm also, being sure to like lock down these border provinces so other people don't try to vulture land that I rightfully fought for, and in my eyes deserve. In the upper right here, we see Arco has taken a province from Sauromadia with Windlord, which means he's flying and raiding. So this is when we learn that Arco and Sauro are at war. Sauro is taking the last province off Satis here. Atlantis should be attacking this shortly. And we do see that Atlantis has a very sizable amount of provinces on the land now. Probably, I just said it, not salvaging, scavenging land off Satis, so. I generally don't like to let water nations on land, but I'm not in the best of position to do anything about it right now, and if I were to fight Atlantis, it'd be such an awkward battle and war to try to push him off land for me that it's not really something I can do about, especially when there's much better targets for me elsewhere to get into expansion with. So yeah, these air hawks, great hawks, birds from afar. I don't remember the spell. It's guess I did it a couple turns ago, but I'm having them patrol stuff down. You can see Brigand Lair here is raising unrest, so I'm gonna eventually use these for unrest reduction for blood hunting, so I may as well get started on it. Over here I'm lowering unrest. You can see I'm kind of gathering up these population eaters with their unrest penalties in this province. So yeah. We see the second round of remote searching. Nature. Nature, am I not doing? Guess I'm just doing nature for now. A couple more auguries. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. For crafting, nope, that's not crafting. Where's my hammers? Okay, so no crafting this turn. All my hammers are in the lab. You can sort of see all the items I'm gathering at this point. Most of it is thug gear. I think I did craft one coral blade on my own, and I'm gonna put these on mages later to sort of buff their HP, make it harder for them to die. I have water lenses for temporary water gems. I have clams for temporary astral gems. Anything else? One body armor. This is half for the morale bonus and half for just the protection itself, so the Melqarts don't have amazing morale, so the morale boost from this can help. I also have a spell focus and Eye of the Void. So in a pinch, if I want to do something that is MR negates, I really want it to succeed, I have items prepped to say, there's an example of this. I guess here. So say for some reason, I need to worry about casting some big astral spell. What could it be? I don't know. Say it's something I can't handle with, so want to cast Paralyze on it to try to handle it. But that's obviously magic resistance negates, so let's say in a pinch, if I need the penetration, I can throw these on him. This mage now has 3 penetration, 1 from that, 2 from this. So this is gear I'm going to use for mind hunting later, at the worst case scenario. But for now I'm prepping it in my inventory, as I might find that I need it later, or need it as an emergency. So I'm a fan of getting like emergency gear like that prepped if you need it. Again, that's sort of why I have like this moderately diverse set of gear, like fire resistance item, water breathing, though I was using that actually. But like the Melqart gear, I have prepped the bracers, the girdle, these storm pools. That's not one, but just like having some diverse gear prepped in case I need it, so I can immediately react to things. But yeah, that's pretty much the fall of Rus this episode. This is actually going pretty long for one turn, so I think I'll end it here. Not really happy with how long my turns have been taken to record. I'd much rather have the episodes last around 30 minutes, maybe pushing 35. But I'm finding like my turns themselves can take 20-30 minutes long. So I don't know, need to practice on not rambling as much, I guess. So that's why I don't want to do another turn this turn, because it'd turn into a potential 50-minute episode. So that explains that. Thank you for watching. See you next time, where we finish up Rus and find a moment of peace, hopefully, so we can site search with all our new land and enjoy the benefits of all this new gold.